Yo, what is going on, everybody? I am your host, Slackerz Gaming, bringing you the next episode in our potential newcomer tournament. So, real quick, if you haven't seen it, I do this every video, but just in case there's somebody new viewing it for the first time, I want to let you know the rules. So, the rules are simple. I created a tournament each day on my channel. I upload one matchup from the tournament. I go over a few pros for the character, try to make a case for him to be playable in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And then down in the comments section for this video, you will vote for one of those characters that you think has the better chance to be playable in Smash Ultimate. And then we kind of go until the whole thing is done and we get a winner. And then we kind of just get to see, you know, what the community kind of votes for particular characters. And just kind of get a sense of, I guess, the top characters, I guess. And plus, I think it's just fun little way to pass the time, so to speak, until Smash Bros gets here. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's a double elimination tournament. Voting stays open for 1 week, 1 vote per person, plain and simple. So let's jump into the results from last Monday, which should be Paper Mario versus Shadow, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, okay, so yeah, Paper Mario and Shadow. Let's jump into the votes. Who did what? Who won? Who's going home? Real quick, Shadow ended up defeating Celica in Shadow's last matchup by a wide margin. Paper Mario actually defeated Sora, so does Paper Mario take down another third-party character? Not this time. I'm sorry, Paper Mario fans. Shadow just seems more likely. So, yeah, Paper Mario has been officially eliminated. Only 41 votes this matchup. Shadow with 87, so yeah, Paper Mario's done. Unfortunately, but hey, Paper Mario still put up a really good fight, honestly. Really did. Took out a few good people, had a pretty decent run into the tournament. So, and there's no shame in really losing to Shadow, who seems to be one of the more likely characters anyway. So if you lose to what a lot of people think is going to be a likely character, I don't think there's no shame in that. But yeah, Paper Mario is done, unfortunately. So let's go. We'll throw Paper Mario over here real quick. Bop, there we go. Figure out the votes later. Alright, so that leads us to the next matchup in the tournament. Here down on the loser bracket. Again, either of these characters lose, they're done from the tournament. So make sure you get your vote in. Make sure before the 1 week is up. So today's matchup, Game 61. Shadow will now be taking on Rayman, 2 third parties. I think this one should be interesting. Let's do this, right? So first up, Rayman, right? I always like to say this because I think it was pretty much thought of, you know, widely throughout the community. When Smash Bros. Ultimate first got announced, that teaser trailer with the Inklings, I think a lot of people kind of thought Rayman as a third-party character, maybe the Rabbids, but I still think Rayman would have made plenty of sense to be added as a playable character. You know, Ubisoft and Nintendo's relationship is really good. Ubisoft always supports Nintendo on their consoles, no matter what it is, Wii U. Yeah, the Wii U. But the Switch, you know, plus the Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle game did tremendously well. So I just thought, you know, Rayman seems to fit the most likely. Plus he had that trophy in Super Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS. And it was just kind of like thrown in randomly, and it's kind of throwing people off. And then a lot of people kind of started speculating maybe Rayman has a chance to be in. And then there's a whole artsy Omni leak. A lot of people thought it was real with that character select screening. I mean, that was superbly done right there. That was a really good leak. That's how you do a leak. Well, I know it wasn't a leak, but that's how you do it to make it realistic. But I still think Rayman has to be one of the more likely third parties, just because Ubisoft still doesn't even have a rep as a playable in a playable form for Smash Bros. Ultimate. So I would think Rayman has to be at the front. Sure, some people say Rabbids. If Rabbids got in, I view them more of as an assist trophy. I think that just seems to fit them more than anything, and not really playable status. But Rayman definitely. So. But I kind of think Rayman hasn't really been talked about too much. Sure, that was that. The news a couple weeks ago that Rayman is going to be in Brawlhalla, and a lot of people are kind of like, okay, that kind of deconfirms him. He can only be in one game. Well, no, he could be in Brawlhalla and he could be in Smash Bros. That's definitely a possibility, but I don't know. Just the lack of Rayman talk, it just doesn't seem too likely at this point, at least not to me. I'd still welcome him. I really would. I think he's one of the more notable third parties. So, yeah, he's. I think he has a good chance, but maybe not quite as good as when the game first got announced. But let's move on to his opponent, who just came off a victory, Shadow the Hedgehog. Plain and simple, assist trophy yet to be seen. I always mention this because sometimes somebody might not know this, even though you should know this by now. But Shadow has assist trophy yet to be seen, presumably just replaced with Knuckles, and Shadow got the assist trophy bump into playable status. Presumably would be an Echo Fighter of Sonic, maybe a semi-Echo of Sonic, give him his own personality into his moveset. So Shadow has to be a front runner, honestly. He's been talked about so much ever since third parties have been proven to be able to get a second rep from the series and also have Echo Fighters. Ooh, excuse me. So yeah, Shadow has just kind of been bumped up and heavily speculated since E3. It makes sense. We still haven't seen him, so I mean, like, what's up with that? Did Nintendo just honestly replace him with Knuckles and they just said, that's it? That's a possibility. I still think that is, but maybe being bumped into that semi-Echo or just a straight-up Echo, I think that's still a really good chance as well. I mean, for this one, it's kind of easy for me because I think Shadow makes more sense. So my vote for this matchup is going to be Shadow the Hedgehog. I just think there's more pieces in place for Shadow to be playable than there is for Rayman. Again, I think Rayman would fit in the roster very well, but Shadow just seems to make more sense for this matchup. So yeah, I'm voting Shadow. Let me know who you got down in the comments. Rayman, Shadow. We'll figure out the winner next week sometime. I still don't even know what I'm doing for Wednesday. There's not going to be a matchup that will be ready for Wednesday, so I'll have to figure something out. But anyway, that is going to be it for this one. Again, one vote per person. Vote down in the comments, Rayman or Shadow, plain and simple. And yeah, that is going to be it for this one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed as usual. Hopefully we catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.